I've been getting a lot of questions on how to build a mini ramp and how much did it cost me and what materials did I use and where did I get it, and did I have anybody else build it for me. So I'm going to start posting videos showing you guys how to build a mini ramp. Yes, I actually did build this mini ramp. It costed me about $700 or $800, and most of that expense goes to the wood that it costs to build this thing, because wood turns out to be really expensive. So if you do it right, you only have to buy wood the first time, and this ramp has lasted me for about 3 years, and it's still going strong. So I will have to resurface it here probably within the next couple months, but that's just going to make it nicer. So you can buy mini ramps online, pre-built and pre-made. I don't really like how they turn out because, for one, you can't control the transition. They build the transition for you, and I like my transition kind of mellow on one side and a little steeper on the other side, because that gives you the best of both worlds. So you can't control the transition. A lot of the pre-built mini ramps are made out of metal or some sort of plastic finish, and those can be really slippery, and I don't like skating on those. I like skating on cement, and also this masonite wood surface works really well. So I've skated on a lot of pre-built mini ramps, and I just don't like how they turn out. Another thing you can't control is the coping. How well the coping is set on the ramp is, you're stuck with whatever the mini ramp companies are building. That's what you get. So it sucks, because if you buy one online, you're gonna pay a ton of money in shipping, and when you get it here, it's basically there. You're not gonna be able to customize it, because that's what I like about my ramp here. I can customize it. I built this bank wall because I got bored of just having a straight across coping, so I chopped it down a little bit, and I built this bank wall because I got bored, and that's what you can do. So if you build your own mini ramp, you can really customize it and build it however which way you want to. So I really recommend doing it yourself, and hopefully these videos will help you do so. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to show you guys my mini ramp that I built myself, and I'll show you kind of what I did here. This side right here is actually 4 feet, and both sides were actually 4 feet, but that side over there I decided to chop down, because I realized that on this side that's 4 feet, you can't really learn the technical tricks like you can on something a little smaller. So what I did is I took this side over here, and I just basically took a Sawzall and cut the whole 6 inches of the top off of it, and then I had this metal piece of coping go all the way across there. And then when I moved it inside the shop here, because of the rain, for the rain season, as you can probably hear right now, it's raining outside, I decided, I only use this 3.5 foot side for stalls, and I don't really use it for grinding, so I don't need this extra side right here. What I did is went ahead and built a bank wall, and I kind of sketched it up a little bit, so you can kind of see how it is. It's pretty sturdy though, actually. I really like it. And that's what I did. And this side, I got bored with the metal coping, and I decided, you know what, let's make some pool coping. So after a lot of searching, I couldn't find any pool coping. I decided, you know what the heck, I'll build it myself. So I built this pool coping all by myself. It's made out of cement, and I will post an instructional video on how to build or how to pour pool coping. So look for that video in the future. But for now, I'm going to be talking about surface materials on what to use for your half pipe. I really recommend using masonite. It worked really well for my half pipe, as you see. I'm sure I'll get more questions on this, but as far as surface material goes, put down 2 3/8 inch layers of plywood, and then also the masonite surface right there. And you can see that turned out really well, and it made a really smooth surface. And if you do get any scratching or any moisture, that's what happens when you get moisture on the masonite. It starts to wear away. But you know what? These things go for about $6.50 a sheet, so I can replace this in no time and be back as good as new. So I laid the masonite down at a 45-degree angle right there. See those angles right there? That is so when I go across the cracks, I don't feel them with my wheels, because if I laid them just straight across like that, then every time I went over the crack, I would feel it with my wheels, and it would bump my wheels a little bit. So by laying it at a 45-degree angle like that, I was able to eliminate most of the cracks that I feel with my wheels, because they're offset at an angle. So I strongly recommend doing that as well if you're laying either plywood or masonite. I laid my plywood down at kind of a parallel angle, and it didn't work out as well. So when I laid the masonite down, I decided to try the 45-degree angle, and it really turned out really well. And one other thing you want to remember when building your mini ramp or any kind of box for that matter is to see that you want to use screws. Because if you use nails, they will sometimes stick out and their heads will get caught on your board or on your body when you fall. And it's also just important to use screws because no matter how good of a builder you are, you're going to make mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes on this thing, and screws just let you redo that. You can take the screws out and redo whatever you're trying to fix. So nails, it's more permanent. Using screws is a better idea because they just come out easier and they hold better and they don't stick out and chunk your board up or your body when you fall on them. That's all I have for you guys today, so I hope this tutorial helped you a little bit.